Alright, so a few of you have requested a part 2 of my metal garage insulation project. So it's been a few months. Sorry for the delay. So as you notice from my part 1 video, I guess my first video, I have finished my project and have now moved in a bunch of my shit into the garage, and it's a big mess and I'm embarrassed by it. So sorry about that, but I hope I can show you what I did. So I went back on the first video to figure out where I left you all at. So let's jump into it, I guess. So turn around here and go up this ladder here to my little loft area. So I finished up with two layers of insulation sheets cut to the width of my trusses, and then for the very top I went in between these braces, if you remember them from the first video, between those. So from here to here is 36 inches or 3 feet, and then obviously I cut them to width spanning between these. Now at the far end, way over there, and on that end, there was no braces like this to support the trusses, so I had to make them. I took a piece of like a 3-foot 2x4, and made the angle the same angle as in here, and had to hand cut it with my handsaw, because my chop saw would not do that steep of an angle. And then I secured them to these braces in the far end and that end, and that's what I used to secure the upper panels. Now upper panels are secured to the top with just a cut a piece of a metal stud 2 inches wide and pounded it flat, and then took 2 short self-tapping screws, both parts there, and where it was floating. Now where the top plate meets the angled insulation, this gap between the two of them here was minimal on a few of them. I think you see that or not, but some of them were tight, some were not. So what I ended up doing is I went to the local hardware store, got a box of 4-inch or 4-inch plus decking screws. And remember in the first video, I lined this way some 1x4, and what was left up here, what I did was it went all the way up. So then I took the screws in the middle of these top plates and put 1 and 2 to kind of hold it up this way so it wasn't floating too bad, and that helped with this gap along here. So there's still airflow between the bottom of the metal roofing and the top of each of these sheets, and then of course took those 1x4 at the seams of between the sheets to make sure that they were flush with each other. The L brackets that I ended up making, if you can see them right there, from metal studs, worked out great, and so far so good. As well as these washers that I made here out of bleach containers, like a 1-inch by 1-inch square. Those all went fairly well. Now, do I still have condensation? Yes. And I think that has to do with I'm living in the Seattle area. It's just always wet. So, but is it better from before? Yeah. So what I ended up doing that seemed to work fine. I didn't use any adhesive or caulk to adhere the insulation